What's up, guys? So, on today's episode, we're back with Tyler Oliveira. I made videos about him before, the fake journalist that just goes to India and ghetto, low-income areas around the USA, photographs poverty and mocks poverty just for clicks and views on YouTube. He's most famous recently for the Cow Dung Festival, that hit piece, racist hit piece he made about India. He hangs out with Nazis. So, Fred, the bodyguard that Kurt Cass uses as security, is an open white nationalist. On my previous video, I've played clips of him being interviewed by a Japanese nationalist, and he openly said white people are being replaced, white men need to wake up and take up arms against the British government. Very disturbing nationalist talking points, Fred the bodyguard. And then Tyler Oliveira, in his pickpocketing, exposing pickpocketers in Italy, hired him as security, and he takes selfies with him, and they're just friends, apparently. I don't know if Tyler is aware of Fred's white nationalist beliefs. I recently messaged Tyler on Instagram and I asked, are you aware that Fred here is a Nazi, a neo-Nazi? He's yet to respond. He probably won't even see the message, considering how small of a creator I am and how many messages I'm sure he gets. But it's very interesting. It's a very interesting turn of events. I knew Tyler, like I said, was a fake journalist. He's just more of a clickbait, he's a YouTuber, he's a content creator. So anything that gets the clicks and the views, he'll do. I'm not gonna play the video of the pickpocketing incident by Tyler because it's similar to the Kurt Cass pickpocketing videos. It just results in the pickpocketer getting heavily physically assaulted by, in this case, Tyler and his bodyguard, Fred the bodyguard, the Nazi. Obviously, I'll say this a million times, and I'll have to say this a million times again, so people don't jump into my comments. I disavow pickpocketing. Obviously, don't do it. It's wrong. I myself have been a victim of pickpocketing. It's not good behavior, obviously. But I'm sorry to say this. In Italy, it is a petty crime. It's not a serious crime like a violent crime or sexual assault or armed robbery. It's just not. It's like jaywalking. And it's just these pickpocketing, exposing pickpocketing videos that are so popular on YouTube that Kurt does and now Tyler. It's just tiring because you're playing Batman in another country against a crime that's not even serious, and you end up potentially even committing a worser crime by physically assaulting the supposed pickpocketer, the supposed perpetrator of this petty crime. And I may remind you, just like Kurt Cass, how he's not even a national in those countries that he's exposing the crime. Tyler is an American. I believe he's from Texas. And Fred, this Nazi bodyguard, is from the UK. So neither of them are Italian, and they're in Italy exposing pickpocketers, aka just assaulting people. And again, I know Tyler is a YouTuber content creator, so he's at the end of the day just in it for money. He's just doing it, anything for clicks and views. He obviously doesn't really care about petty crime in Italy. He doesn't want justice. He just wants views, and these style of videos are very, very popular right now. But just to go to a country that's not your own and then end up assaulting somebody, I feel like people are violent. People want to commit violence on somebody, so they'll use any excuse possible, especially an excuse that will make them feel justified, like in this case, assaulting this pickpocketer. And again, pickpocketing is wrong, but this guy is like an older dude. He's like 45, maybe even 50, and Tyler and Fred are semi-young, like in their 30s, and they just gang up on this guy and start punching him and kicking him in the groin. And Tyler takes his passport and like shows it on camera. Just, you're not a cop, man. You're not an Italian police, part of the Italian police force.
I'm here with the pickpocket we just caught. I'm the captain now. I'm the captain now. I'm the captain now. Say hi. Say hi to the world. No more stealing. No more stealing. No more stealing.
They're like humiliating the guy. He's got like his passport up. And again, I will say for the quadrillionth time, pickpocketing is obviously wrong. This style of content I think is weirder than the idea of pickpocketing somebody. Like, it's like a humiliation ritual. Does Tyler get off on this? I know his fans definitely do. People have so much anger and resentment built up inside them that this is an outlet. Watching someone get beat up online is an outlet because you can't go out and just beat people up. So when you see somebody on the internet beating up a criminal, in this case a petty criminal, because pickpocketing is a petty crime, you get that urge satisfied. Tyler, he's not funny. Like, it's wearing the hat, I'm the captain now referencing his disingenuous coverage of the Somalians in Minnesota. He did a whole, jumped on that right-wing bandwagon that right-wingers are obsessed with right now. Tyler, the hack fake journalist. He interviewed Tommy Robinson, the loser white supremacist out of the UK who just won't go away. He's been around forever. You know, the Muslim takeover of the UK, supposedly. This guy gets worse and worse, Tyler Oliveira. I thought he could not, just when I think he can't outdo himself, he outdoes himself with the fake journalism. It is interesting, I will say this before I wrap this video up. He did 2 series. He did a series about transgender people in Thailand, and he interviewed them. It may or may not have been a hit piece. It just looked like he was just interviewing them. It wasn't looking like he was cracking a narrative or trying to paint a narrative. What is interesting is he did another series where he interviewed the adult film star Bonnie Blue. And of course, like, the internet hates her. I personally don't care. You know, whatever you think about adult content is whatever, but the amount of hate and visceral that woman gets online is very bizarre, and that could be a subject for her own video. But his audience seems to have turned on him just a little bit in those videos, because you look at the comment section and it's like, oh, I followed you, now I'm going to unfollow you because you're giving a platform to transgender people in Tyler's, Ladyboy series he did in Thailand. Because, of course, a big chunk of Tyler, probably all of his audiences are right-wing reactionaries. So they obviously hate transgender people. So when Tyler interviewed those women, they got all mad at him and were like, I'm going to unfollow you. Kind of like when Warren supposedly apologized and his fans got mad. And then when Tyler did the Bonnie Blue video, it's the same comments. This woman is evil. Why would you give her a platform? Of course, middle-aged, fat, ugly white men were mad in Tyler's comments because they want to see the racist videos about India, you know? They don't like how Tyler gave a platform to an adult film star like Bonnie Blue. Just kind of funny little observation I made about Tyler's audience. He recently did a George Floyd investigation. It was a very, very distasteful video. Tyler, since he's not an ethical journalist, went to Minneapolis and made another hit piece and put it in quotation marks, investigating George Floyd's murder. He put it in quotation marks like it was like up for debate. Just FYI, this is a trigger warning because Tyler is very distasteful in this video.
This is Minneapolis burning as riots exploded across America fighting against police brutality and racial injustice.
Yeah. Essentially, video's over, Tyler. That's essentially what would happen because that's what happened. People were upset because an unarmed black man died in police custody because they were being overly brutal. Okay, they weren't following policy or protocol. So yeah, let's wrap it up. That first 6 seconds summed it up perfectly. Nothing more needs to be said. But watch this.
The death of George Floyd. Was the death of George Floyd a racist white cop murdering an innocent black man? There's a lot of evidence.
Pretty much that's what happened. Maybe not that dramatic, but it was a unarmed man, specifically a black man, who died in the custody of a police officer, a white police officer. So that's essentially what happened. But he's obviously painting a narrative.
Evidence that supports, in fact, that he...
I don't know who this loser woman is. I think she's another fake journalist, probably a right-winger by the sounds of it. This is his source of supposedly why George Floyd wasn't murdered, is this woman no one's heard of.
Did not. And I actually challenge people to come forward with evidence that he did. Actually, in a way, I feel bad for...
He was... Chauvin, the man who murdered George Floyd, was found guilty in a court of law. So yes, he was murdered. They had evidence. The case is closed.
George Floyd, I think he was really used. Anybody who looks at the video thinks, see, this is awful, this is horrible to watch. But I've been a reporter, for 20 years. I always know that there's a lot.
Gee, where did you work? What were your credentials?
More to the story. There were drugs found in his car, on him.
It's this popular thing of he was a supposed drug dealer, so therefore he deserved to have what happened to him. So they think therefore Chauvin is innocent. It's so weird to me. You know, CK, the popular podcaster that was last year, horrible. He was murdered, right? Horrible incident. If it came forward that there was something in his system, that wouldn't have changed the fact that he was murdered, right? I would agree with that as a leftist. But these right-wingers don't have that same logic. Like, they just think that since Floyd apparently, supposedly had drugs in his system, I don't know, I don't really care, it doesn't matter, he therefore, Chauvin is innocent. It's so sick and demented. But the fact of the matter is he was murdered in police custody or whatever, and he didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve to die. That shouldn't have happened, and it consistently has happened a lot throughout American history. And the fact that Tyler would go to Minneapolis, Minnesota with a platform as big as he has and just make this investigation into George Floyd's murder is just so distasteful. It's like, what are we doing, man? What are you doing? Like, this is so gross. The guy was murdered and shouldn't have to die. End of story. But he's just playing into this popular right-wing narrative online, you know, that's very popular. It gets a lot of views and clicks and engagement. Tyler, if you're, by the off chance you're watching this, you're a charlatan, you're disingenuous, you're dishonest. I genuinely don't think you're a good guy.